I am just jumping on here with a quick Kickstarter tip because you are going to absolutely positively kick yourself right in the head if you can stretch that much. I don't know that I can actually do that, but you're going to kick yourself if you forget about this during your next launch. And I'm especially talking to, in fact, more so than anyone else, I'm talking to veteran Kickstarter creators that have had, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, in my case, 17 successful Kickstarter campaigns in the past. Sometimes you take a few things for granted. And actually, I'm in the process of getting ready to launch Kickstarter campaign number 18 with my main men, John Lees and Alex Cormack. This is for the Sync Blood and Rain Kickstarter launch. We're going to be taking part in the Break Kickstarter initiative and all of that jazz. But what I want to talk about today is just a quick tip that and something that you need to make sure that you do, and you need to make sure that you do in advance of your launch. Okay, so I know there are a lot of creators out there. Sometimes first-time creators are like, you know what, this Kickstarter thing, I'm going to give it a shot. I want to check it out. I'll just put my campaign together this weekend and I'll launch it on Monday, right? Guess what? That's not a good idea. That's not a good plan. And the reason for this is because every Kickstarter campaign that you create needs to be submitted for review. And if we actually jump over to the status of the Sync page right now, you'll see that this page is actually in review. It says your project is in review. All right. Now, this is a thing that Kickstarter does where they review projects. They will not let just any projects up on their platform, right? And so there are rules and other things that are important that that people follow when they're launching Kickstarter campaigns. And so Kickstarter does review every project. Now, they say that your project is being reviewed. Please allow up to 3 business days for your project to be reviewed. Now, here's the thing, and the reason why this messes up, especially veteran Kickstarter creators, is because Kickstarter also does use some automation, some algorithms, some scanning technology in order to see if you can launch your project faster. And so not every project will get a manual review. In fact, I think my last 3 or 4 projects, I clicked the submit for review button. It popped up and it said, hey, let me see if we can help you launch faster. And it did a little scanning thing. And then it just said, boom, your project looks good to go. You're good to rock. And I was able to I could have launched my project immediately then. However, this latest project, I submitted this on Wednesday evening. And here we are Friday morning. And my project is still in review. And technically, they said allow up to 3 business days. So that would have been Thursday, Friday, and then Monday. So the soonest I can, if it's accepted, and that's another thing to think about, like not every project will get accepted. Although, you would think after 17 projects, like I know what it takes to get a project accepted. And most projects do get accepted as long as you follow the Kickstarter rules, which we're all going to do. But you want to make sure that you are submitting this at least 3 business days, right? You want to count back by business days before the day you want to actually launch. All right. Do not leave this to the last minute. Now, here's the thing. If you actually scroll on the page that I submitted, there's actually some spots, and I've obviously put a lot of work into this. Teams put a lot of work into this page. It's a good looking page, but there's actually a few spots in here. I have a spot where I'm actually working on testimonial videos for I have a few places here. It says insert sync cosplay pics. There's another spot I think I have where we're going to insert some sync testimonial videos of real fans talking about their love for the series. And so I want to thank every fan that has already submitted that. And so my project is not 100% complete. And I know that's a reason why some people leave it to the last minute to submit their projects for review, but don't let that be an excuse. You can change literally everything about your project. You could change your title. You could change this description. You could change the video. Like you could upload a new video. You could add some new rewards or change some things. Like you can make significant changes to your campaign after it gets after it is reviewed and then said, okay, this is accepted. Like you can still make changes. So don't let that be a reason why you don't submit it for review and then hope that the team at Facebook, or excuse me, the team at Kickstarter gets to it right away. All right. And so that's really all I wanted to do is jump on here and share that because this is something that I know a lot of creators make. While I'm here, I also will say that one of the first things that you should do, like as soon as you start putting together your project, is actually scroll to the bottom of your project, sort of your project overview here, and take care of all of your payment information. All right. Because this is another thing that takes a few days. You got to link your bank account. You got to confirm your identity. You've got to add a credit card. You've got to add a bank account so that they know where to send the funds. And so this stuff all needs to be reviewed as well. And this can take several days. And it's sequential and like you can't do the next step before you did the previous step. So this is something you want to do right at the beginning. Do not leave that to the very end as well. So that's just like a bonus tip for you. All right. So that's all I have for you. If you are having an awesome day, let me know in the comments. If you know someone who is launching a Kickstarter project soon and maybe hasn't heard this or needs to hear this, just at them in the comments of this video. Or if you are someone who is working on your own campaign, I want you to go ahead and write in your calendar, several days before you actually want to pull the trigger and launch. Hey, make sure we submit this for review. Even if it's not perfect, even if it's only 85%, 90% done, it still needs to be reviewed. And you want to give yourself that amount of time, because even if you're a veteran like me, that does not necessarily guarantee that Kickstarter is going to put you in that fast track review process every single time. This time around, I am not in that fast track review process. My project's being manually reviewed by someone over at Kickstarter, and that's taking, so far it's taken 2.5 business days. So, and who knows, they may take the full time. And so, but because I remembered that, because I had that on my Kickstarter checklist, because I am someone that learns from past mistakes, because I remember forgetting about this and leaving this to the end, and then sort of being like, oh my God, what happens if it takes them a full 3 business days to review this? I already told people that my launch is about to happen. Don't let that happen to you. You don't want that to happen to you. And hey, it looks like Ian Ejob is preparing for a Kickstarter graphic novel for Anakai for Zebra Comics. Awesome. We'll be looking forward to that on the Kickstarter platform soon. And now you know not to wait until the very end to submit it. Submit it at least, I would say, at least 4 business days before you want to launch, just so that you have plenty of time and don't have to worry about that at all. All right. Hey, if you guys like this stuff, if you guys like Kickstarter tips, if you need more help taking your launches to the next level, I've got a podcast that you're going to absolutely love. It's called Comics Launch. It's available over at, you go to comicslaunch.com/subscribe, and you will find all the details about that, that podcast that I do. We've got 200+ episodes of all about how to take your launches to the next level, how to get them successfully funded, how to energize and expand your fan base. I would appreciate it if you go over and download that, get that on your cell phones, and listen in, and hopefully you learn a thing or two about this stuff. All right, everybody have a great weekend. I got to get back to this Kickstarter campaign. Jose's Crisis Corner said this just happened to him. Jose, I just missed you, but it will never happen to you again. And guess what? You're going to go out there and you're going to tell a dozen people, you're going to tag a few people that you know are doing Kickstarters, and you're going to say, hey, remember this. Don't let this happen to you because it happened to me. Remember, the only way to learn is from mistakes, but they don't all have to be your mistakes. So you can learn from my mistakes. You can learn from the Jose's Crisis Corner team's mistakes, and you can take your stuff to the next level that way. All right. Have an awesome weekend, everyone. And I can't wait to see what you launch next.